Hello everyone, we are Group 6 in Dr. Chidang Full Stack Development course at RMIT University, Vietnam, and welcome to our website development showcase, in which we will go over the design, development process, and testing phase of an online social network website. So a little bit overview about our application. The app is a platform designed to facilitate connections between users, allowing them to interact and share content in various forms, such as images or text. Moreover, it allows users to create or join communities that share their interests, as well as administration methods for the moderators of groups and the site itself. For the technologies, MongoDB, Express, React, and Node.js all merged stack with a RESTful API design was applied in order to bring this concept to reality. For the front end, we also use Tailwind CSS, a CSS library to help the development process be more quicker and more versatile. Bun was also used by all team members as a substitute for NPM due to its speed. The application is inspired by many current successful social medias, namely Twitter and Facebook, that focuses on user experience, security, and aesthetic, providing a wide variety of main features such as authorization and account creation, post creation, user-to-user interaction, user groups, and administrative functions. Now let's move on to the design. The application follows a three-tier architecture. The front-end, back-end, and MongoDB are responsible for the presentation, logic, and data tier respectively. The front end is divided into many pages. The user can view and interact with each component, can make calls to the server APIs as necessary. Over to the right is a picture of our home page. Next, the backend follows a RESTful API design that consists of many routes that perform the logic for users' data and input, as well as fetching information from the database and sending them back to the client for display. The general routes are as follow: authentication, users, groups, and requests and post. So over to the right, the image is an example of how we make these routes. So this is the routes for the post, and here you can see it connects to the controllers. All right, next we'll go over the database design. So the database schema is designed with a NoSQL database, MongoDB, where entities are stored in collections and documents. There are 12 entities in total, and in the entity relational diagram, here you can see every attributes as well as the relationship of it with each entities itself.
So now we will talk about the application development. So firstly, the user authentication is managed through sessions using the Express Session middleware. When a user logs in, their session data, including the role information, is stored on the server, and a session ID is sent to the browser via cookie. So to enforce the role-based access control, two middleware functions are implemented. The first one is authenticated, which verifies if a user is logged in by checking the session data. The second one is eAdmin, which checks if the authenticated users had the admin privilege, because the admin can access more resources than a regular user. We also manage the user authentication on the client side. We develop the auth provider component that manage user data on the front end using the React Context API. So after the user login, their information is saved in the local storage. And when the application loads, it checks the local storage for existing user data and restore it into the context. The next section is the data validations. So the system will check for required field during the user registrations, post creation or group creation. User input is validated for proper format and criteria, such as the valid username, email address, group and post visibility, and correct object ID format, which will reduce the invalid and malformed data. So the next section is the pagination and loading. So on the server side, we implemented pagination by allowing the client to request a specific page of data along with the limit to specify the number of items per page through the use of the URL parameters. Conveniently, Mongoose also provides us with some function to do pagination, such as skip and limit function. On the client side, we achieve this through the use of the intersection observer of the JavaScript to monitor an element at its enter view. After each fetch, the page is raised by 1 to guarantee that the following fetch has the next 10 data points that the user needs rather than the old and duplicated data. And the final aspect is the client and server integrations. So when the data is returned from the backend as a JSON string, it needs to be parsed and converted into appropriate types for use on the front end. So to ensure the consistency and reduce the error, a custom data type is designed using TypeScript interface keyword, allow for strict type systems. While JSON is a convenient format for data exchange, it must be converted into TypeScript object that align the application data structure. They ensure that our program use the same data type consistently across the app, reducing the possibility of mistakes and defective application. So a certain field in a JSON, such as the object ID or images, may not match the expected types on the front end. So we create a custom parsing method that is used to transform the JSON data into the appropriate object type. And next is application testing. So our testing strategy is to test each component remotely, and we also verify the rendering stages and event handling for each component. We test our Express API endpoints using the Postman, and after tested all other features, we recruit a group of 10 potential users, including our friends, to interact with the applications and ask them for some feedbacks to improve the user experience. So we also test the application correctness by checking the authentications to check if the user can sign up or log in with valid credentials. We also test the authorizations and routing to ensure that the React router routes and the API endpoint from the server were accessible only to the authenticated users. We also check for the data integrity to ensure that all the data, including the post, comment, or request, was stored accurately in the MongoDB and also be retrieved and parsed correctly to the front display. And finally, about the functionalities, we create some manual tests to ensure that the UI consistently display the correct data based on the current context. And the last one is to test the performance of the applications. So we stimulate the concurrent users, about 10 or 15 users at the same time to access the applications and observe the response time and the application behaviors. We also analyze the network performance using the Google development tools, and we measure the initial load time, number of requests, and total download size. We also identify the large access, such as images and styling files, and analyze the API code to check their performance and optimize the slow performing queries. So the next section will be the application demonstrations.
Okay, so welcome to our demonstration. So now I will start with authentication demo. First, I will create an account. So I will do demo user, and the display name will be demo user. Password will be some random number, like so. And I will insert the email. So, and for profile picture, you can technically choose any picture that you want. So I want animated profile. So I will choose this GIF. Okay, so I will redo the password like this, and I will sign up. Now, since I already created our account successfully, I should be able to log in to the system. So here is the example that if you type your password incorrectly, so you use the invalid password. Now I will log into our application. So, and for next is for our search. So search is self-explanatory. Search allows you to search for users and group in the system. So here, if you didn't input any value, you can search for all the users that are available in the system. Same to all the groups that in the system as well. So and you can just try to do something like win If you find user in Win-Win, and you can also see their profile image, their profile, and all their public posts. Send to the group. I will search for demo, and you will see this group. And this group is public, so you can see the post. So now talk about friends. Since you already searched for a lot of friends right here, I will try to friends with one of them. I will friend with Nguyen because I got access to that account. So here is a Nguyen account. In the friend request, you can see the demo user, and when I accept, the account is being friend with the demo user. So since we are friends, I am allowed to see all the posts, public posts that from this user. So, and similar to that, if you are a friend, you can unfriend them. When you unfriend, everything will back to normal. You can still see any posts here. Now for the admin account, I will log this out and I will try to use it out. Here, I will log out here. Now I will log into the admin account. When I log into the admin account, you can see all the active user and suspended user. So now here's the demo user. I will suspend this account, for example. Now it's suspended. When I try to log that user in, I saw the account is suspended. See, so when you suspend a user, the user cannot log into our system. This is similar to a ban. And when you suspend user, you can reactive the user like this. When I reactivate it, I go back to this and I will try login again. This user is available again. So from the admin, he can also delete all the posts in the system. So now I will try to find Win-Win right here. You can see that he has some of the posts. Now I just want to delete his post. So I delete it. Okay, now the post deleted successfully. And I will try to reload. You can see that the post new post right here that's already gone. Furthermore, you can also delete the specific comment in the post. Like in this post from Son Goku, you can see that he also comment on his post right here, and I can press delete it when I delete it. So there's no more comment on this post. Now I can show it to you. Getting the post like here, you can see that it's already been removed and you cannot see any comment here.
Here is the post and comments functionality of our applications. We will need 2 sessions on 2 different browser tabs to test all of the functionalities in this case. So I'm gonna have a user B tabs here, who is the friends of user A. On the home page of every users, they can view all the public posts as well as all of the posts that their friends has been posted throughout the history. Now let's create a new post. We can change the visibility of a post. We can change between public or just friends here. We can add some images. And now let's click on the post. The post has been stored in the database and updated on the front end. Now let's go to the user B to test. As you can see here, the new post made by the user B is also shown on the user B's homepage. Now let's make a new comment on this. The new comment has been added. Go back to user A to see. As you can see here, the UI for user base is also updated. Now let's edit the comment. And we're gonna edit this multiple times. We can view all of the history of every time we edited. Now let's delete the new comments. And then we can add a reaction here. Going back to user A, we can see that there's no more comments, but we have a new reaction here. Now let's edit the post. We can also change the visibility of the post. The UI has been updated. And now let's edit it again. Every time something must change to the database, a toast has been shown below. Now let's view the history. All of the times we edit has been stored here. Let's check back on user B to see if the post has been updated or not. As you can see here, the text is updated here on user B homepage too. And finally, going to delete the new post. And on user B homepage, it is also been deleted.
So now let's move on to the group section. On the group section, we have the two tabs here, which are groups and create group. On the groups, we can view on the group that we have joined as well as the group that we are moderating. On the create group, in here we have a field that we can fill in the information in order to create a group. So now first, let's create a group that we want. This group we will talk about space. And for the sake of demonstration, I will be using a private group. For the cover image, I will be using this image. And when we hit the create group, it will send a group curation request to the admin. And now let's move on to the admin account. Here is the admin account that I have logged in. When logging in as admin account here and inside the group, we can see on the group that is available and as well as the group request. And this is the one that I just sent as the full account just now. And when I hit accept here and going back to the full account to the moderating group, we can see that the space exploration group has been created. And now let's go into here. And on inside the group here, we can see that there's currently one member and one moderator, which is me in this user account here. And we can also view the people that is currently inside the group, as well as the people who request to join our group. So now let's move on to another account and proceed to join this group. This is another account that I create login in order to demonstrate the group implementation. So now let's go into the search and search for space group. This is the group that we just create. Since it's a private group, we cannot see any content here. And in order to view the content inside, we have to request to join the group. And now let's go back to the other account. And here, when we going back to the join request, we can see that the user just now had requested to join our group. And when we click on accept, that user just now will be able to view the group. So let's refresh the page to see the change. And as you can see here, there's currently 2 members and 1 moderator now. And when we click on people, this Phúc Hoàng currently is moderator, and this Banana 95 here is current user. And we can post something in here. So this is a new post that's been created inside this group. User can also edit the post inside here, delete, or even view the history just like they can in the home page. And now let's going back to the current user who is moderating the group. And as you can see here, after refresh, everything is updated again. We can see the fat banana now, and now we'll process to remove the user from the group. So login at this user, if I refresh the page, I can see that I'm no longer inside the group, and as I have been kicked out by the admin. And this is on the feature that we have implemented for the group section.
So this is also the end of our demonstration videos. Thanks for watching.